Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you 8 things you need to do to buy a house in Australia. So I particularly live in Queensland, so some of these things might differ state to state, but this is what was obtainable when we recently purchased our new home. Yeah, I've received a lot of DMs and I'm like, it's just going to be easy and quick to just put everything together in one video. So yeah, straight to the point. What is point number 1? First of all, if you're planning to buy a house, the first thing you need to do is to put your finance together, and by so doing I mean budget. So you need to start, like, maybe as a family, as a household, or if you're single as well, just start putting your finance together. And what I would say is, one thing that helped us was, even way before we wanted to buy, like we knew we could buy the house, and by this I mean before our PR was settled and issued, we started speaking to a broker. So you might choose to speak to a bank directly. So initially I think we spoke to a bank first and we were running with the bank, but at some point we realized that we needed a broker, so the broker can help us shop around and give us the best option. I don't know what's applicable where you are, but here you didn't have to pay the broker anything. I know, like, so a lot of people would say, oh, that's additional cost. For us, it was totally free. The broker would be paid by the bank. So get your finance together, and I feel a mortgage broker is in the best position to help you with this, because what they will do is go to the different banks, see what your borrowing capacity is, and then they will also tell you, like, give you the different options. This is the interest rate, this has an LMI, this does not have LMI. They will just shop around, and trust me, most times they will give you the best deals. They will give you a lot of options, and then you can choose from. Once you've done your finances, you've spoken to a mortgage broker, or you've spoken to a bank, and you know what your borrowing capacity is based on your current income, and in all of this they will ask you for supporting document, either employment letter, your pay slips. If it's a mortgage broker, they will ask you for your bank statement, credit card, and all of those things to get your finance together. And also what you get after that is maybe a pre-approval. Should you be ready, you might ask for a pre-approval. Pre-approval is something you need when you need to start going for shopping, like when you want to start shopping for a property. So it's getting your budget and your finance together. Also, the end result of that with you knowing your borrowing capacity, and then helping you get a pre-approval. Those two things are very key once you want to start shopping. Number 2 is for you to research the property you want to buy. So the first thing you want to do is check the suburb, read the crime rates, because I remember when we started shopping and we're reading the crime rates of some, and like there are links available, I don't have them, but where you can check the crime rates or the issue of maybe robbery around the area. There are reports like that you can check. Other thing you want to check is for flooding, that area is not subject to flood. You need to do all of those research. So once you do that, that will help you streamline where you'd be going to for inspection and things like that. The flooding, the crime rate. Sorry, I have my mini list here, let me just check. And then check for the suburbs you like it's very important as well. If you're a family, again, you want to check for suburbs that are very family kids friendly, family friendly, that is safe. Also, if you have kids, you need to check that there are schools. Read the reviews of the school in that area before you even like deep dive into going for inspections. So you need to do a research and just shortlist these areas you're going to be checking, so you're not wasting your time, if that makes sense. So item number 2 is research your property, and when you're researching, you're checking for schools, checking for safe suburbs, check the crime rate, check for flooding. The third thing is do a property shortlist. So once you've done these are the areas we'll be looking at and working with, you need to do a shortlist, because you can't just keep going. Maybe today I live in Brisbane, I live somewhere in the south. Today you can't go to the north and check a property, and tomorrow you are in the east, or like you just start going everywhere. So do a short list of suburbs you'll be working with. If you're going to be checking houses in Calamville, like, just have a short list, so it just helps you plan. So do a property shortlist, like start with the suburb shortlist and then the property shortlist. The next item, number 4, is for you to start booking inspection and going for inspection. I used to tell people we went for inspection back to back for close to 2 months. Like every Saturday we're out going for inspection. And of course, yeah, I think I need to be clear here. This is if you're planning to buy. If you're planning, like, my experience is basically about buying a house, like buying an already built property. If you're looking to build, It's similar but a different ball game, because obviously you have to look for the land, right, and then you build, kind of. But yeah, whatever I'm saying now is based on our experience of buying already built property. So once you do that, you start going for inspections, and yeah, basically going for inspections till you find what you need. It takes time if you're looking for already built property. And then as well, if you're going for this inspection, have an expectation in mind, like have things you would not compromise on, because you will see a lot of things, and if you don't have what you don't want to compromise on, you just take anything, because you might even get tired, and anything that comes your way is what you accept. So have that in mind, and saying, oh, I want a pool, I will not compromise on a pool. I want a house that is land size this, I want, like, there are things. So just have a list of things you compromise, things you would not compromise, so that it just helps you when you're making those decisions. Because trust me, a house is not $2, it is almost millions of dollars. So you have to make the right decision, right? Once you start going for your inspection, and like a property comes to mind as something you would like, start performing your due diligence before you put in an offer. Like, some of these things are very publicly available. Do a due diligence of the house, maybe check for the go to the government website, check the title, like just check and make sure you do your due diligence. It was that part we didn't really know much about, but thank God we had a solicitor slash conveyancer who was good and like drew our attention to the intricacy of some of the contracts we're about to sign. So do your due diligence, and then yeah, once you do your due diligence, you shortlisted the property you want, put in your offer. Like, put in, it is very competitive at the moment. I don't know what it's like, it's been 3 or 4 months now, but put in your offer. Don't get intimidated, and again, you already know your borrowing capacity. You definitely cannot go beyond your borrowing capacity, but put in your offer and the amount you feel the property is worth. And then again, if you have a mortgage broker with us, we used Hunter Galloway, Jaden of Hunter Galloway, shout out to you. It was so good, so helpful. It would usually, like, we'll send him the property address where we are planning to put in an offer, and then it will send us a valuation report. So this valuation report is from CoreLogic, so it's something you can also subscribe to during this process if you're using a bank and you don't have the opportunity to get a broker to get you the property valuation. But with the property valuation, it just helps us to not price the property, because at the end of the day, the bank might not approve your loan if you've overvalued the property, right? And people tend to do this out of desperation to outbid others, because a lot of people are bidding for the property. What you should do is get a value. If you don't even get the valuation, if you go on real estate and check for the houses that were recently sold in that location, you'd be able to see what they sold for, right? And then you can compare. So please just be careful so you don't overprice. Like, I know there are some houses we put in offers for, and then we're on our way home and we're like, we think we did too much, and we think like we lowballed for some and some went too high. So just be careful on how much you put in for those offers. Another thing that really helped is do a second inspection. The first time you're coming with very high expectations, and you might not even, your mind, if you are already in love with the property from the site, right? And then you're just coming, oh my God, I love this house. There's tendency that you will not see the things that are wrong or not good about that property, and you just put in an offer, boom, because you just loved it at first sight. I will implore you to please perform a second inspection for this property where we eventually got. Trust me, we came on Wednesday, there were lots of people in here, and then everybody was just like, oh my God, this property is beautiful. Like, everybody was howling on the first day, and then we came back on the Saturday again, and then we still had the same feeling like we had on Wednesday. So that was what just gave us like, no, we really wanted this property. Because I know there are some of them that we went to, and then we went back and were like, oh, you didn't say this the first time. No, like, this is not good enough. You know what I mean? So do a second inspection, and once you've done that, you've done your due diligence on this property, you've gotten the valuations right, so just put in an offer. Like, make an offer. Once you've done those two things, like you've done your second inspection, you're okay, you're convinced, you've checked what your compromise list is, it ticks all the boxes and everything, put in an offer. So once you put in an offer, this takes time sometimes. Some people, it depends on who is selling. Sometimes if it's an individual, they'll come back to you. If it's a bank, it takes time. Like, it just depends on who is selling this property. So they will come back to you to say it's either they've accepted your offer or they've not accepted your offer. If they've not accepted your offer, trust me, it's all for good. Like, God knows best what He wants for you, because there were some offers we didn't get, and like, it's just a whole long story. I'll come back another video to talk about that. But once your offer is accepted, let's move on with if your offer is accepted. If your offer is accepted, the next thing is for you to sign documents. So you exchange contract and all of those things. Please, please, and please, I cannot overemphasize this. Do not sign a contract without a solicitor / conveyancer going through it. Like, make sure you do not sign any documents. See, we had an experience that gosh, in another video I'm going to talk about it, like I said. But please do not sign any documents without someone who is qualified to, not just anybody, because there are some terms in contracts that a layman, even as educated as you might be, you might not be able to interpret. So you need an experienced solicitor or conveyancer to read it. So make sure once you get the contract, send it to the solicitor, let them read it and come back to you if it's okay, because the solicitor, you are engaging them by yourself, right? So they know, they have your back. You know what I mean? Like, the real estate agent might push you like, just sign, is nothing, don't listen to them. The seller may be putting pressure, don't listen. So I'm emphasizing on this so much because anyway, I've said it. Please make sure you give it to a solicitor conveyancer to read the contract carefully. And once you sign in, most times it's usually for 7 or 14 days finance, 7 or 14 days building and pest, and then finally would be 30 or 45 days settlement. So those are the conditions that come, like those are the basic conditions that come with the with signing. I think we did 7 days finance, 7 days building and pest, and we did less than 30 days settlement, but we signed that 30 days settlement, but we were able to settle earlier because everything was ready and we're just ready to go, and the property was empty. So yeah, just put all of those things into considerations. And then usually when you're signing the contract as well, once it's signed, they will ask for a deposit. Most people would say they usually would deposit $1,000, and some people will do $5,000. It just depends. I feel like this property, ours was very complete, and we went so high deposit because we just wanted it, so we went so high. But it is risky because if anything goes wrong and you decide not to progress with the property, with the old contract, you might not be able to get that deposit back. So it is very risky to put in a high deposit, and that's why I said you need a mortgage broker as well to just advise you every step of the way. And like I said, we used Galloway, and they were available for us I would call every other day. I have questions, they were happy to answer me, and then they were just there for me. And like, it felt good that there were people I could rely on and always call whenever anything is confusing. So yeah, talked about make an offer, sign the document, and then in the 30 days you're meant to finalize your finance and get your unconditional offer from the bank. And then that is the point where you know the bank is ready. Like us, we got ours in like 7 days. The bank said they were ready to settle, and then we wrote back to the estate agents, solicitors, everybody, and everybody was like, yeah, we can settle. And so we settled earlier. But that's it, get your finance together, and once that is done in 30 days, is prepared to move. Like, yes, that's it. It's so simple. The last item is just prepared to move. Get a bond cleaner if you're living in a rented apartment or wherever you were living before. Get a bond cleaner to clean the house, book movers, yeah, transfer your utilities and everything like that. But basically, that's everything you need to know about buying a property in Australia. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you in my next. And please, before I see you next, make sure you do subscribe if you watch the video up till this point, and subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.